Clark and Perry.
In the place.
Clark and Perry. Do what it takes. Clark and Perry invite you to stay.
And explore the artistry in everything, live, on location alongside the Windy City's finest. Produced with the support of TELUS Story Hive. Available on YouTube and TELUS Optic TV on demand. For a limited time only. Terms and conditions apply.
The first time, it's like, you really don't. In fact, it would probably be weird if you did it right the first time.
It would be.
You know?
You'd be kind of like, what? How?
Yeah. Yeah, and I think about that in acting, where it's like, for me, I've heard the phrase of like not being precious a lot, not being precious with like your offers and ideas, and because when you're in it doing the things, it's hard to see that bigger picture, and I think that's typically why there is a director, and because they can see the images that are being made, right? Yeah, right on. Okay. I'm gonna do my legs.
I also sometimes just like to be like, okay, are they on an angle? Then just put my finger on it to be like, okay, there's an angle here, then I know there's gonna be an angle here.
Right. He's gonna have pretty long legs. Legs come out. Legs come out, it looks like, to the side of his body.
Yeah.
Right? So yeah, his legs actually passed a little bit. Interesting. I love this idea of using a straight line to figure out kind of well, he's got big feet. My guy's got big feet. Oh my gosh. Piglet's got some big feet on him.
Ready to do a lot of walking.
Yeah, they gotta go find that honey, like,
yeah, there you go.
I can just hear Clark laughing back there. You know what? We're running with it. He's got big ears, even bigger feet.
I think he looks great.
Yeah. He also looks like he has 1 foot right now. Because I think I might have gone too far over. Uh-oh. I don't know where his other foot will go. Clark is laughing at me. Don't laugh at my piglet, okay?
Your piglet is beautiful.
Thank you. My piglet is beautiful. Vindication. Okay. Keep going. Awesome. I think that's a good point, though. You gotta be able to laugh at it,
Yeah.
If you take it too seriously, sometimes, I think, that can also get in the way, right?
And one thing I was afraid of when I first started, too, was I was like, oh, man, I'm going to have to toss away this canvas and it's going to be ruined.
Yeah.
It's like there's
wasting
always more,
resources.
but like, you can technically, like, it's okay to waste even though you don't want to, hypothetically. But it's like, if you completely destroy something, it's not the end of the world if your first go, you're like, well, can't salvage that one.
Right. And it's like, I think that's a really interesting concept, I think, there, because it's like, it's that idea of being like resourceful and like not wanting to waste things, but with the experience you gain from doing that thing, like that in of itself is valuable. It's just, I think, culturally, I think we maybe don't put as much value on that as there maybe should be, It's like, it's okay to fail. It's okay to completely mess up the canvas, and like, you will learn from that experience, I think, right?
Yeah.
Interesting. Cool. All right. Well, I'm trying to give his legs some shape here. I figured it out. My piglet is a little bit of a hobbit. He's got some bigger feet on him. And, maybe there's some little hairs. Not on his chinny chin chin, but on his feetsies.
Okay.
That's what I'm running with. That's how I'm going to justify it.
All right.
But yeah.
I love it.
And so I know that, Winnie the Pooh and Piglet maybe is not your typical subject matter. Is there a specific stuff that you're drawn to or styles that you're drawn to? Drawn to? Sorry.
Currently, I'd say I love stuff like darker. Like not darker in color, but like darker in subject matter.
Okay.
Not like mature stuff, but like, darker themes.
Yeah.
Especially with I currently, well, not currently, I previously, like most recently, had a piece where it was centered around death for my Waking Death course that I was in the university.
Right.
So it was definitely more of a darker theme. And then I've also done ones where it's like based off of darker animes.
Yeah, anime.
Because those are
cool.
fun. And then also just anime in general, because those are some of the things that my friends are into. So then I painted stuff for my friends, and I was like, okay, they like this.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just dive into this. Though I did do Stitch for my sister.
Oh, Lilo and Stitch?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's amazing. That would be really cool.
Oh yeah, it was really fun.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think like a question from that for me would be, do you feel like, because again, going back to your like gift giving, and do you feel like you get, like this is a tool or an avenue for you to like explore different things like anime, like that you wouldn't typically encounter, but if your friends are into it and you want to make them something, kind of gives you a reason to like go watch that show or go listen to that music or
Exactly.
yeah.
I think so, because I did another painting for one of my friends too, because she loves Hamilton, the musical.
Oh.
And I'd never seen it. So I was just like Googling a bunch of things, like, okay, how am I going to embody Hamilton? Because I do definitely more cartoony stuff.
Yeah.
I could draw more realistic than I can paint, because drawing, it's more precise versus with the paintbrush. There's like, you can get like a really fine paintbrush, but it's definitely not as precise for me as the pencil.
Right.
So it's just kind of researching stuff like that, which I have seen it now, thanks to that same friend. But it's definitely like a way to just know things, especially, well, learn new things, especially when you're doing it for other people, to actually get into their own passions and stuff.
Nice.
And then kind of incorporating it into my passion.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah. I know you're finishing up your feet here.
Yes.
Is there something I could be doing for our
Yes.
painting? Or marker, I think, was
Yes,
next,
what
right?
you're going to do is you're going to redraw the entire thing in Sharpie. Just
In
trace
Sharpie.
It.
Just trace it in Sharpie.
That's it.
Okay. We're going to see which ones of these work.
We'll see.
And then, yeah. Okay. And I remember we went over the lines darker that we want to focus on,
so
that we
you
kind of fix.
only do the ones you want to keep.
Perfectly sure. Okay, yes, because marker is permanent.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Oh, gosh. Where to start? Let's start with this ear. Or would you typically start somewhere? Or just anywhere?
So with the marker, you want to start like how we would on a page, like left to right, so then you're not putting your hand in the Sharpie.
That is a great point.
Other than that,
I did not even
anywhere.
think about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, left or right. Or if you were left-handed, I
Yes,
guess you would go
then
the other way.
right to left.
Interesting. Cool. Okay, that was good to know. I would have smudged my piglet. Okay.
Or just gotten your hand really black.
Or got my hand in the pack. Does this have to be like super spot on? Or
I'd say so.
pretty spot on, eh? Like,
You might want to switch markers.
okay.
That one's probably one of the ones.
Okay. Okay. And are they supposed to be fairly thick, or is it really fine? Because it's
I'd
pretty
say
fine. but
pretty fine, just like to cover the pencil, basically.
Cover the pencil. Okay. Great. Cool. Interesting. It's an interesting, honestly, it's an interesting texture, I'm realizing, because the canvas has a lot of ripples to it.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
it's texture-wise, you could probably might even hear it. It's kind of rough. It's not sandpaper, like maybe a really, I don't know how sandpaper is graded, but a really sparse sandpaper, like barely anything at all. But it moves this around a lot, whereas on paper it's very
That's why some of my Sharpies don't work, because after a while it kills them.
Oh, interesting. Okay, good to know.
It's the canvas.
It's the canvas. Did it take you a while to figure that out, or were you like, oh no?
So, yeah, a bit, because I was like, this Sharpie's new. Why isn't it working?
Right. Yeah.
It clearly has more ink in it.
Yeah. Interesting.
But Sharpie's really helpful because, again, you can go in with black paint, but then the paint, if you have the paintbrush, it's not as fine.
Right. Okay. Interesting. Have you ever done like a time lapses of this stuff?
No, I haven't actually.
I think that would be really interesting to see like your meticulous nature, like you know,
Yeah.
over the course of a painting, and how that would
That would be
translate.
fun.
Yeah,
I have wanted to try it sometime.
yeah,
I just haven't gotten to it yet.
yeah. No, that's fair. It's all a process. Takes time. Okay. Oh, it's so satisfying. Like this is so satisfying, getting to see those crisp lines come through, and yeah, no, this is awesome.
Yes, you counted earlier. There are 6.
Yes, I would feel really bad if there was not 6. I would have to go back with the eraser, for sure. And I think, in the interest of time, I might just do like the face
Yeah, absolutely.
for now, and then and hopefully we can get some painting, get to some painting. Oh, a pretty thick line here. That's very interesting. Okay. Interesting. Huh. Nice. So yeah, working left to right and top to
Yes.
bottom. So I'm picking up.
I learned that from trial and error.
Oh yeah. And you were like, started smudging. You're like, this isn't
Yeah.
charcoal. Oh, I'm even getting some already.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
like, whoops.
It's like, this isn't supposed to be charcoal. Why is it getting everywhere?
Alrighty.
And then do you do the facial expressions? Or?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Alrighty. Can I please have a Sharpie?
You sure can.
Thank you.
These are the two we have to try.
Let's see how this goes.
Nice.
Oh yeah, this one's fine.
Yeah, I can see how you can get lost in this and
Oh,
just
yeah.
spend hours on it. And yeah,
Depending on the drawing, I could like not finish drawing it for like days.
yeah. Is that like nice though to like have something to kind of
Yeah.
come back to, like, or do you ever feel it's like, oh, okay, I just gotta go and finish it? Or like, yeah.
I think a bit of both. The one that I did for the uni, I was like, okay, this is enough. Because
Yeah.
of course there's a deadline to it.
Okay. Yeah.
So it was very much like, oh man, I have to spend my whole week doing this.
Yeah.
Because it was really detailed, and usually it would take me, I'd spend a few weeks on it, but I literally
Yeah.
did it in like 5 days.
Oh wow. Yeah. Yeah. That would up the pressure for
Oh, yeah.
sure. But I think sometimes it's good. Would you agree? Like to have those instances to kind of
yeah.
push your skills and test your skills, I guess.
Yeah, and it really just, it allows you to become better. It's kind of just like I don't know, I mean, it's not for everything, but when you have that stressful time limit, it kind of does force you to adapt, and then you learn new things.
Yeah. It reminds me, honestly, of you moving from a smaller city to a bigger city. It forces you to adapt and try things and learn things, and yeah. I think that's interesting that you kind of have that life experience and you kind of find that in art.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a really cool way of looking at it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like there's a common theme here.
Yeah. Push yourself. Try new things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Need like a slogan.
Yeah. Awesome. Oh, I gotta just finish his face there, and then I might, try and get some paint on here and
Sounds
see what
good.
that looks like. I mean, this is a unique kind of process as far as I'm concerned. So, if we really wanted, we could. I'll check in with Clark here, but we could end it with this, and hopefully we'll find time to like finish these and maybe feature them at some point. But what do you think, Clark? Should we take some time, get some paint on here? Let's do it. Okay.
Nice.
I kind of want to see Piglet brought to life a little bit with some color.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. Okay. And do you ever do this? Like, I imagine this is more of a solitary practice for you, but do you ever do it with people or in groups? Or
occasionally.
Yeah.
There's like, you know, the pottery place in Lethbridge.
The pottery place in
Where you can
Lethbridge.
paint pottery.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I go there with friends sometimes, and we like make plates or like
Yeah.
cups, or the fun little when they have like the holiday things that
Yeah.
you can make. Like last time, I did a whole Santa Claus for no reason, and I still don't know what to do with it.
It's just sitting
sits there all year round.
Oh, nice. Classic.
The all year round Santa Claus.
Nice. Awesome.
Yeah.
So we got our faces here. And I see that your
Yeah.
eyes, you actually did not color your eyes in.
Ooh, I could though.
Should I not have?
No, I just didn't do it.
Okay. Awesome. This is where my little piglet's at. That's awesome.
Hold mine up in a second. There we go.
And I gotta say that your prowess at like portioning is really like that's something else. Like
Thanks.
your portioning here, I just gotta actually look at this like
Yeah.
side by side. Like that is crazy portioning. Like the way you're able to do that. Like oh man, that's crazy.
I do it quite a bit though.
Yeah, no, for sure. And because I'm just noticing like my ear is quite close to the top, and I don't know if usually you want a bit of space on the edges or, yeah, but
I mean, depends on if you're doing a background, which
we're not right
so,
now. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And then with these ones too, which is why I do a background last, is because you have like all those smudges on the outside.
Right.
You paint over it, it's gone.
Right. Awesome. Sweet.
Yeah.
Okay. What would be
Alright.
your next step? I know you would typically do the whole body with marker.
So for this, right now we only have 2 colors we need. So we have the face and the ears and the nose are the same.
Sweet.
So what we're gonna do is, now this is where the trial and error comes in.
Okay, awesome.
And
Yeah, if that wasn't trial and error enough, this is where the real trial
this is
and error comes in.
the major one. So we're gonna
Okay.
be like, okay, we're gonna take this pink, but it's
Oh,
clearly
yeah.
way too bright.
Right, okay, yeah.
So we're gonna be like, okay, we need to add some black to this maybe.
Okay, because it's too bright,
Yes.
so you add black to darken
And then
it.
we
Okay.
have this one. This one's actually pretty close.
That's pretty good, yeah.
We might see with that one, but if not, we could also add some black to it, or white, or even if it's just like a little bit off,
okay.
you can bring in like
Some vanilla.
some off-white, or even this
Oh, wow.
golden brown or something, just to mute it a bit.
Yeah.
Or even sometimes, for me, it just depends. Sometimes the red's muted,
Oh, interesting.
which is odd, but
Yeah.
sometimes it works. It really just depends.
Hmm.
So this is why it's like the trial and error, because we just mix, and if it's not the color, we add more.
You
we
add more or less, yeah.
add, subtract, just keep going.
Awesome,
See
right?
how this goes.
Yeah. Do you start small and
Not really.
no, you just go for it?
Pretty much.
I love it. Courage.
I really just throw caution to the wind.
Yeah.
I'm not necessarily careful with it anymore. I used to be, and then it's like,
At a certain point, you just kind of.
yeah.
Yeah.
Though a little black goes a long
A little black
way.
goes a long way, for sure.
And then I'll need the water.
Oh, yeah. There we go. In our trusty cup here.
Wow, look at that.
Yeah.
And then let's see how this goes.
Okie dokie.
Might go really badly.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
No, because this is for the ears and
Yeah.
nose.
The ears and the nose.
Honestly, that is pretty spot on. Maybe I'm colorblind, but that looks pretty good to me. So, like, you know, you've already said how, like,
Yeah.
you've already said how you get very.
It's a little too bright still, but
Okay.
yeah.
You already said how you're very specific. You like it to be very specific.
Yeah.
Does that also translate to color?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's like a little bit off. I'll have painted the whole thing and be like, I gotta paint over it tomorrow.
Amazing.
You just wait till it dries, and then you just do another coat the different color.
And you just do it again. Interesting.
Let's see here. It's a little off for me, but for the sake of
Yeah.
time, I'll say good enough.
Okay.
Though normally I'd be mixing for a long time.
For sure. Interesting. Yeah.
But I'd say it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I can see why, like, because I can see that this is a bit more of a stronger color. So
yeah, definitely.
you would want to, I imagine you would want the more contrast in
Yeah.
order to contrast them more. Yeah. Okay. But yeah, so should I grab
Yeah,
a,
you just grab a paintbrush and dive on in.
does it matter which one? Is this good?
I
This looks like the one you
would-
have.
Yeah, I'd say probably that one.
Probably that one.
Because we don't really want to go bigger just because it's the...
They're fine. Yeah, they're smaller spaces. Yeah. Okie dokie. Awesome.
I mean, your spaces are larger than mine, so if
This
you
is
want to
true.
go bigger paintbrush, you can go bigger paintbrush.
I think this will be good for now. So you wet your
Yes,
thing
wet it
first.
first.
Awesome. Try it a little bit. And then you just get some on there.
Oh,
and-
yeah.
Okay, on both sides. Keep doing this, so I will copy you there. Okay, here we go. Piglet is coming to life.
See, and this is why it takes some time sometimes, because if you look, that's the first coat, and it's
Yeah,
very transparent.
yeah. And I'm also noticing that my ink might actually be running a little bit into it.
Oh.
Is that something you encounter a lot? Or not
No.
really? Or maybe I'm just not in the lines enough. That could also be it. Okay. You get that nice silence with the little...
The
little-
concentration.
yeah,
and
the
then
concentration. Little brush strokes.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can hear that. Yeah. Awesome.
You never know. Might be able to.
Awesome. Do you ever listen to music?
Sometimes I listen to audiobooks.
Audiobooks.
I do
nice.
music. Sometimes I listen to audiobooks. Other times I've actually, I've watched an entire 5-season anime. It was over 100 episodes by the time I finished a painting.
Oh, wow.
Just had it on in the background.
Yeah, yeah. But you know what? I can, hearing that, I can really appreciate, your joy when you see people's face, when you give these things that you spend so much time on, and 5 seasons of anime, 100 episodes of anime,
Oh,
and
yeah.
if you were kind of quantifying that, that's a lot of time that you've given to that person.
Oh, exactly.
And it's in the form of a painting, but really you're giving them that time, right? That's really special, I think.
Thanks. It's just so fun to do though too. I think especially if I did not enjoy it, there'd be no way.
No, absolutely, yeah. No, it seems like a really good way of expressing yourself, and yeah, and like you say, so you say sometimes you'll come back to it after a day, right? And you'll repaint it, but
Yeah.
is there a time limit? So if you left it for a week and came back to it, would that still be okay?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
One of my paintings, I got so frustrated with it last year that I literally left it for 6 months.
Wow.
And then I ended up scrapping the canvas and restarting it.
I just started from scratch.
Oh,
But
yeah.
you learned from that
I
canvas.
did.
Yeah, and so you just needed a new canvas.
Yeah, but that one was just so difficult. I was just having so many problems with it. And then I
Right.
stepped back and was like, there's no way to fix this.
Right,
Which is,
right.
again, the whole, you don't want to just throw away the canvas, but sometimes, it
what
took
you
me
gotta
6
do.
months to throw it away.
Right, yeah. So you don't take it lightly.
No, it's not like I'm throwing them away all willy-nilly.
Yeah. Interesting. Oh, and yet the
Right.
nose in here.
Yeah.
Awesome. Trying to stay right in these lines. Nice. Awesome. We are doing it. Cool. Okay, and then so then you brush.
Get this pink off.
Get the pink out.
This is where this will come in.
Nice. Yep. Right.
Right. Then we can
Next
move on.
up, we're mixing the skin color basically.
Yep.
Awesome.
Which actually might be pretty darn close.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna try and see what this does.
Okay.
Again, I'm not a color mixer that knows what colors go with what. I
Yeah.
have general knowledge,
General knowledge.
but it's not like I'm
It's kind of like a art in of itself almost.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah.
just been times where I'm like, I don't know, that looks like it'll work. Let's just put it in.
Yeah.
And then sometimes it does, and then I'll forget what color was that. Not sure if that did too much.
Yeah.
But I'd say I'd want to put some black
Some
in
black
it.
in it. If nothing else, I can for sure see the contrast to the ears and nose.
That's good.
So if nothing else, you know what I mean, it would definitely be distinct from the ears and nose. Yeah.
Which is what we're going for.
Which is what we're going for. Yeah.
I think that helped it. Again, don't worry, I'm not bringing my perfectionism here.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. We're
That's
learning.
closer.
Closer? Okay.
Yep.
Should we go for it?
Yep, we're going for it.
Oh, nice. Awesome. Again, nice. Okay.
But yeah, in an ideal world, when I'm doing it in my home without any time constraints, I go so far as to, I get the exact shade
Yeah.
for everything, which is where the time also comes into.
Yeah. But it sounds like that's, that's part of the fun for you. It sounds
Yeah.
like, right? Like, oh, my piglet's eyebrow is
Dear.
coming apart here. Uh-oh. His eyebrow's coming apart. But you know what? That's okay,
Yeah.
because we let it dry. Especially the ink. I think my ink is still kind of wet,
You can
right?
do it again.
Yeah, we could go over it when it dries.
Mhm.
Interesting, yeah.
You know, the fun part is, which actually isn't the fun part, if I didn't finish, so like ideally right now, like we're doing it color by color.
Yeah.
If I didn't finish doing the color and then I had to step away from it the next day, it's so much fun trying to recreate the mixture that I created the day before.
Right, because it's not like a cooking recipe where you add a specific tablespoon of black acrylic paint.
Oh, yeah.
It's like you're kind of eyeballing it as you go. Interesting. So yeah, when you have to step away partway through, it can be challenging to recreate the color.
And especially when you step away for weeks at a time and I don't even know which bottles of paint I used anymore.
Right, yeah.
We're just going to go for it.
Interesting. Is that when you might just try and get something and just go over everything again?
Yeah.
Sometimes?
I've only done that once, though.
Oh, okay. Usually you're able to get it pretty close, eh?
I also got my eyebrow out, too.
Oh, yeah.
It's okay. There's no evidence.
Oh, I need more. I need more paint.
Yeah, what the Sharpie does is that you can go in with black paint, but it's way thicker.
Right.
So the Sharpie makes it so it's actually the fine details that you want.
And I love that you're kind of blending mediums, really.
Sometimes I will go in and do some of the outlining with paint,
Yeah.
but it just can't be very small.
Yeah. Oh. And so, there's various sizes of brushes you have here. And is this the extent of your collection, or no? So I guess where I'm going is like, how long do you feel like it's taken you to accumulate, the selection of utensils that you have?
I'd say I've been collecting stuff for about 10 years.
10 years, wow.
Some of my stuff isn't even in Lethbridge, though. So
Oh, okay, yeah.
yeah. My Lethbridge selection is ideally what I generally use, but some of my stuff is also still back at my parents'.
Yeah.
Because it's like, since I'm mixing both painting and drawing into one art piece, it's like, okay, I use my drawing stuff and I use my painting stuff.
Yeah.
So I've acquired a lot of different things.
Oh, yeah, this is really fine work. I can definitely see how, I'm messing his eyes up here. But yeah, I can see how the finesse, if people that are into like really finesse, detail-oriented people.
Oh, yeah.
How you would enjoy this. I'm getting like
Definitely.
Okay.
And so before, I actually wouldn't have switched to this pink yet.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so what I would have done originally is I would have waited for the ears and the nose to dry, and
Okay.
then go over again.
And then go over it again.
Yeah.
Interesting. And why is that? Is that just a preference, or is there a reason to it?
Yeah, it's just a preference because
Just
I
preference?
generally do like to stick to one color.
Yeah.
And it's because I don't generally finish anything the first day.
Right.
So I want to get the one color out of the way, especially if I've mixed it, so then I don't have to do it again.
Right. I see. I see.
So I just want to do all the coats. So I cover my bases and I'm not stuck mixing the next day.
Yeah.
There's times though where I wish that I could just go to the store and be like, I need this color to match this face.
Yeah.
And then they'll just ideally have it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Wow. I think that, yeah, I would definitely wait for my ink to dry from the Sharpie next time. Just because, yeah, it's kind of messing me up here. His little eyes are getting smudged.
I think that's why I've never run into it either, because I usually don't
You give it
paint and
time.
draw on Sharpie the same day.
Right. Yeah, yeah,
It's very separated.
yeah.
Though actually, I did end up smudging my Death Class 1
Yeah.
because I was under the time constraint.
Right. So then, yeah, you have that pressure.
Yeah, but it wasn't with the paint. It was actually with the seal.
Oh, interesting. Oh, wow. Gotta remember to breathe. So detail oriented and forget to breathe. Okay. Awesome. I've kind of finished my face. It's a little blotchy.
It's okay. That's why. So when you also, like, there's no way you can go without just like blocking some of the
Right.
stuff.
Yeah.
So then what I would do is wait until I'm done painting the entire thing.
Yeah.
And then wait a couple days before it dries, and then go over the whole thing again with the Sharpie.
With the Sharpie. Awesome. Amazing.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry that we didn't have more time to kind of,
okay.
finish more of our little piglet's body. But it is nice to see the face coming to life a little bit, even if it's a little blotchy. He just woke up. He just woke up, so maybe he had some makeup on.
Yours.
Maybe he had some makeup
There you
on,
go.
and he forgot to take his makeup off last night, and so it's a little blotchy. Oh, awesome! But no, like, how much longer do you think that this would take you to finish the body? And I know that we kind of even rushed, really,
yeah.
for your typical process. We
If
kind of
I
rushed this.
wasn't rushing, I'd probably spend another 3 hours on it.
Wow! Yeah.
Because then ideally too, I'd pick like I think not a pink, but more of like a vanilla for the background. So then to make sure to get rid of all of
Yeah,
the
and to kind of
stuff on the back. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then also there's the sealant that you'd have to put on in 3 days after everything's dried.
Oh.
Because if you don't wait 3 days, that's when the Sharpie smudge.
That's when it's gonna smudge with
Yeah.
sealant. Interesting. Cool. Yeah, I know. I can. I know I've said it before, but the time that it takes you to do these and like giving them to people, I don't know. There's just something about that I don't know. I just think is really amazing. And
Thanks.
yeah, and just I don't know. I think I talked about this briefly with like a different subject, like in last season of like it's like it's not a monetary receipt, but it's a time receipt. And like how much the time you spend to do this is kind of like a receipt in of itself. And again, it's not numerical, but it's like time and energy, and like to have somebody put that up on their wall.
Yeah.
And yeah, I can really see how that would be special. So thank you so much for sharing this with us.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I think that is the time that we have for this segment. But maybe we'll find time to finish these at some point and feature them again. But yeah, thank you so much for tuning in, everybody. And thank you so much for being here with us. I'm Perry. He's Clark. You are?
Jess Nguyen.
And this is the Windy City's finest. We'll see you next time.
Clark and Perry,
in the place.
Clark and Perry, do what it takes. Clark and Perry, invite you to stay.
And explore the artistry in everything, live, on location alongside the Windy City's finest. Produced with the support of TELUS Story Hive. Available on YouTube and TELUS Optic TV on demand for a limited time only. Terms and conditions apply.